while I was on vacation, I was rereading Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and I was having so much fun rereading it. Granted, I wanted to finish the book before I finished the vacation, but what wasn't really a vacation technically. It was something way more sad than that. But I'm not gonna get into details. But anyway, while I was on my trip, I was rereading the book and I was making comparisons to the show because I didn't finish the show when everybody else had finished it. I was taking longer to finish the show, but I finally finished it. The good thing for me, it was only 8 episodes, so yeah, it was an easy finish. But then while I was reading, and then when I finally finished it, unfortunately, you know how you read a book and you watch the movie or TV show, and when you make those comparisons, you find some things that you did not like. Okay, listen, I do not hate the series. Please, do not bombard me with hate comments when I say the things that I did not like in the series when I compare it to the books. I know Rick Riordan, I hope I'm saying his name right, I know Rick Riordan helped produce this. I know that. That does not mean he probably made some mistakes when he was the script. Here's one thing I did not like. The sword fighting. The sword fighting. No. There was not enough. There was not enough sword fighting. There was definitely not enough sword fighting because in the book they make it abundantly clear that Percy is really skilled at sword fighting. In the TV series, I almost say movie. In the TV series, they barely show it. Like they show it so last minute, you almost forget the fact. You almost forget that. Now you could say, but he cut off Medusa's head. He was swinging at the wall. He was swinging at that chimera and all that stuff. Yeah. I know that. There weren't enough flashbacks. There weren't enough scenes of him sword fighting with Luke. He was supposed to be trying to figure out like what he was good at, but we kind of skimmed through that. We really skimmed through it. So yeah, it was really not. That was not my favorite. Another thing I did not like was the fact they kept splitting up the group in scenes where in the book it was all 3 of them. Like in the show, they kept splitting them up. In many scenes where it's supposed to be Grover and Annabeth and Percy, they keep making it either just Grover and Percy or just Percy and Annabeth instead of all of them together. Instead of showing all of them together, which is so stupid. I really did not like that. Especially when we get to the part of the underworld, I did not like that. Because there were so many scenes in the underworld that I did not like. Like what? Their confrontation was with freaking Hades. That was way too underwhelming. I wanted the character to be played by an actor whose voice was like really shakes the ground as he talks. Or you could have added that like that booming effect, when a character says something and then their voice echoes and it's like super loud. They kinda did that for Hades. They didn't do that for Hades. He was way too chill. They made him way too chill. Like how come Zeus, the guy who played Zeus, how come he seemed more threatening than Hades did? And Hades is supposed to be the god of the freaking underworld. How do you mess that up? Come on, guys. Come on. Y'all could have did better. I'm not saying the actor who played him did a bad job. I'm just saying the way they directed it was not good. Like they were supposed to make him way more threatening. They made him way too fun-loving. I do not like that. I did like the person who played Mr. D. I did like him. And I also like the person who played Chiron. I did like that. I did like that too. I did like the kids who played Percy, Grover, and Annabeth. I did like that. I definitely like that. I like the guy who played Aries. I did like that too. I like the person who played Aries. I definitely like that person. The one who played Poseidon, the scenes with him were just not as good as in the books. They just weren't as good. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I mean, when I heard him say, I surrender, I'm like, no, you're supposed to be sitting on a throne right next to Zeus. And Percy is supposed to be talking to you all polite, like he's talking to like royalty or something. And that scene when he said, right, what was it? Like, I'm trying to remember the scene. I'm trying to remember it. Like, I think he was like, freaking obedient, yeah. Like, obedience does not come likely to you. Like, it doesn't. And, like, when I compared it from when I read it in the book to the TV series, I was like, that scene was not as good as I wanted it to be. No way. No. That scene was not as good. No. And like the confrontation with Luke, like where it reveals that Luke is the one who, look, Luke and Ares worked together to set Percy up, and it just seemed like he was the lightning thief, and also took the helm. It just no, that scene was so underwhelming. It was way too underwhelming. I wanted to see a scene where they had the scorpion. I wanted to see that scene with the scorpion. Now, I know, obviously, they were going to use a real scorpion. They could have used a CGI scorpion. That would have been okay. That would have been okay if they just used a CGI scorpion. That would have been fine. But they didn't even do that. No. They're going to have him just escape through a portal. And it was like, man, was that underwhelming. That was so freaking underwhelming. Like, it was so underwhelming. And like that last scene with Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, just as underwhelming as well. Just as underwhelming. It was just as underwhelming. Like, there's so much stuff they just totally botched in the last episode. There's so much stuff botched. But as it was, it wasn't that bad. I give it maybe a 6 or 7, in my opinion. Remember, I am not the be-all opinion of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Hey, if you liked the series despite all the differences that it made changes it made between the book and the series, then hey, that's good for you. That's good for you. I will say the number one thing I really did like about the series is the kids. The kids that they got to play Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, like, they are great. You know, like how Emma Watson and Rupert Grint and Daniel Radcliffe, you know how they as kids to teenagers to adults, how they worked off each other. That's how I felt that's how I'm feeling right now with Percy, with the actors that are playing Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. I feel like, since they already confirmed that there's going to be a season 4, I feel like they're totally going to have like really great scenes, just like in the Harry Potter movies. Even though, the Harry Potter movies differ a lot from the books, but still, I feel like it's really going to be good. By the way, if y'all wonder how I feel about the Harry Potter series so far, it seems pretty good. Like, the cast that they have seems pretty good. Obviously, we're not going to learn about the key cast until the actual release date, but still, so far as it seems pretty good. What I'm really worried about is just how far they're going to depart from the books. They said they're gonna make it a more like royal adaptation than the book for the books, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's my review for Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 1. What did you think of the series versus the book? Tell me in the comment section below. Bye.